is that we are also the director. But it's only when we understand the directorship, and that comes from being able to focus on the truth, on the existential experience of being, the geometric experience of being, that you can truly become the director of your own theater of life. Any other questions?
Geometry, mathematics, straight lines, everything's in black and white. We can add up a column of figures and we know what we're talking about. Spirituality, faith-based, what we believe, no empirical data to support it. How do the two meet, and is noetic science where they meet? Of course, the alchemy of the old days is gone, and the alchemy of today is embracing both of those. How do they meet?
They meet in the position of knowing that geometry is the truth. Going back to what I was saying before, geometry is the truth. Spirituality is creating the drama of life, the theater of life, in a way that it flows in harmony with all mankind, instead of in conflict with mankind. What is spirituality about? It's about morality, brotherly love, and charity. All the lessons of the Bible, all the lessons of every good book, is about learning to live in morality, brotherly love, and charity. Are they real? No. They're theater. Just as much as the theater of the man who's willing to come up to you, take a gun to your head and kill you for $1. That's his theater. The theater of spirituality is the theater where you're learning how to live in a harmony, a peace, a structure of life that makes love supreme. But it goes back to geometry being the only truth. And geometry has no good or bad to it. It just is. It just is. In fact, there's a certain level of understanding within Buddhism where they say life and death, someone takes your life, it's no big deal, it just is. That's hard to get. I don't get that. I don't want somebody to take my life. But if you truly believe in energy, then you say, well, what Einstein said, energy is neither created nor destroyed, it just transforms in form. Is that real? Is it not real? I don't know, but it makes me feel good to believe that. So I do what makes me feel good. Anything else?
Actually, yeah. I've been listening to everything you've been saying, and I understand and appreciate it. Now, having said that, do you take the reality that we all know and exist in and process it along with this, or do you deflect it in order that it doesn't take away from your being and your understanding of everything that you talked about? You know, are we working with reality, or are we blocking it out? You know?
Good question. Very good question. Everything is coexisting. You can't block it out. In fact, one master once said to me, your mind is like a boombox. If you're sitting in a room and you have that boombox next to your ear, that boombox becomes all there is. You know, because it's blasting right in your ear. It's only when you get up and walk into another room that that boombox, even though it's never turned off, becomes background instead of foreground. You're working with reality, our perception of reality, but from a different perspective. From a perspective of truth being primary focus. What is being primary focus. And the creation becoming the creation, the secondary, the background noise, the music going on behind. I see a little confusion here. You can never shut the mind down. You can never shut our what we're calling, what I think you're saying about reality is how we see things happen.
Yeah, it's our perception of
our perception.
how things are, whatever that may be to
Right.
each individual. Yes.
Right. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. But it's only when you take that step to focusing on the geometric truth that the thought patterns can no longer grab hold of you and make your body. The only power that thoughts have are what they can create in your body. Let's do a little process. Close your eyes for a second. Start thinking about the last major argument you had with your wife, with your child, with a friend, with your boss. Really start thinking about it. Start feeling it in your body. Really get into really how you were during that fight. Now open your eyes. Where in your body were you feeling that? Was it in your stomach? Was it in your shoulders, in your hands? In all of them? That's the power that your thoughts have over geometry. Because the geometry is what you're doing in your body. This stress is geometry. Now close your eyes again. Go back to that feeling. And now consciously take a deep breath. Focus on where you're feeling that stress. And release it. Consciously let the muscles go. This is the step back that from being the slave of your thought patterns to becoming the master of your thought patterns. Because if you're stuck with that of my wife, and you're staying like this, guess what? Your thoughts you're the slave to your thoughts. But when you start thinking of the true geometry, look at this. Geometrically, I'm stressing my abs, I'm stressing my hands, my shoulders are stressed. And consciously, at that point, you've stepped far enough back from those thought patterns that you can become the master and recreate them with the building blocks of morality, brotherly love, charity. Oh, well, wait a second. Maybe my wife didn't mean that. Maybe I'm just thinking of it that way. But you can't do that when you're here and feeling this, because you're the slave to those thoughts. And the more you're stressing, the more pain you're creating in your body, threat of survival, that the thoughts become that much more powerful. It's only when you step away from it and go to, let me get back to the geometric truth, that you can recreate the thought patterns. Did that answer your question? Yes.
Power of positive thinking.
Power of positive thinking. All of these things are real. All these things. One of the first groups I ever became a part of was this group called Planned Happiness. Dude, how much more clear can it get? Becoming the master builder of your happiness. Planning your happiness. It doesn't just happen. It's like the smile from our friend before. It's not happening because of them. It happens because you choose it to happen. Okay, it also happens because somebody's being nice to you, somebody's stroking you, somebody's giving you a good compliment. But that's not the truth. That's happening because of response. It's only when you can truly become the generator of a smile. You know what? A great example is what's happening right now with the tsunami and the earthquake in Japan. Have you guys been following that? You can't help but follow that. Focus on the people. Imagine how we would be, a lot of people in America would be. We would be rioting, we would be cursing, we would be shouting, we would be breaking windows and looting. The Japanese are just taking it as what's up.
Discipline.
Well, it's more than discipline. It's really a Zen understanding that this is life. And all I can do is stay who I am, stay integrous to myself, and go on. And they stay in the harmonic flow. And the world is seeing this. This is, I mean, it's terrible that this tragedy happened. But what a wonderful perspective to give to the world of a way to live in peace and harmony. To live like that, where you're not blaming the world around you for what's happening. You're dancing with it. It goes back to, there's so many aphorisms, great aphorisms. It's easier to ride the horse in the direction it's going. Surfing with the wave is a lot easier than trying to swim against the wave. I mean, all of these things, if you can take life and just dance with it, rather than struggle against it, life becomes a gas. It becomes where we're supposed to be as Masons. Anything else? Any other questions? Well, thank you very much. if I was truly enlightened, you know, I'd be in a cave somewhere, I wouldn't have to say anything. But I'm glad I'm not, because I'm up here talking because I'm enjoying the response from you guys. And this is a good place to be, not totally enlightened, because it really is fun for me. Thanks a lot again.
That was an excellent, if you stay here for a moment. That was an excellent lecture. Of course, it only touches upon what Franklin really is capable of imparting. I suggest you all pinhole him outside and grab another 10, 15 minutes of his time. Keep him here enjoying the cupcakes.
That's about 4 days.
Franklin, we have a certificate of education for you from Atlas Pythagoras as a Masonic speaker, which we certainly hope you'll enjoy. And I also would like to present you with an Atlas Pythagoras pin.
Thank you.
And if you would join us in a chain of union around the altar before we all go outside, gentlemen.